All right. This is Danny. I am
Hi.
here with Count Katrina.
Okay.
And we've got Johnny Depp Joel.
Oh,
Oh,
Hey guys, what's up?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you'll see.
No, there's a reason he said that. Kind of,
All right.
he's
Wasn't
not in the
aware.
movie, so it's kind of random, but it's
Oh,
It
it'll
still-
make sense.
might fit.
It will?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we are here to talk about the final review of 2024, and that is, even though it's not 2024 anymore,
2025.
first of 2025, and that is Nosferatu.
Yes.
All right, Joel, can you tell us who was a part of it?
So this one stars Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter.
Okay.
Nicholas Holtz and Bill Skarsgård. And so it was written by Robert Eggers and directed by Robert Eggers.
Yes,
Why does Robert Eggers sound familiar?
he did The Witch.
The Witch, which
Which
we
we
haven't
haven't reviewed.
covered any of his movies, I don't think.
Yeah, The Lighthouse.
Also the light, yeah.
We didn't cover
And
that.
yeah, and another one called The Northman, which isn't a horror movie, but
Yeah.
it's the only other ones he's done. So,
Hmm.
and he's around our age,
Wow.
which is crazy. Like,
Oh, is he?
Wow.
Yeah, he's born in '83.
Oh,
Goodness
wow.
gracious.
Yeah, I mean, his name was all over the trailer and the posters and stuff for this
Mhm.
movie, so
Yeah,
it's kind of a big deal, I guess.
Yeah,
And
I
we
guess
covered-
so.
we did cover what his brother's movies that
Oh,
they did
yeah.
earlier in the
Oh
year.
gosh, the front room.
Well, that was the front room.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it was
Wow, he is way better than his brother.
there were two. They were brothers, so
Yeah.
yeah, there were
Hmm.
multiple directors
Well,
for that one.
Those. Wait, was he part of that?
No.
No,
Okay, so it was just the other
No.
brothers.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they need to just leave it to Robert.
Yeah.
He's got it covered.
yeah.
All right, so we got a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake.
Oh man,
All right, so we're gonna each come up with a word to best describe this one. We'll go with Joel first.
Mm.
okay. The word I was looking for something different, but I came up with well, I guess I could two technically would work together, but beautiful or like cinematic, like
Oh.
as far as how it's directed and everything.
Yeah.
It is a I mean the story also, like it's a very like romantic movie, so it's very like beautiful movie in that way. So
It's a
yeah.
lot of words, Joel.
Hey, sometimes you gotta give it a couple more
Beautiful,
words.
cinematic, romantic.
All right, what about you?
I just came up with chilling.
chilling.
Okay.
All
that
right.
too.
Well, I was gonna say gothic,
Yeah.
and
Cheat.
that's in the description, but
Yeah.
I was already gonna say that.
Uh-huh.
I was. All right, so this one came out on Christmas,
Yeah, it did.
and a lot
We
of
did
people
not
saw
watch
it on Christmas. It was.
I-
Did you see it?
I saw it on Christmas. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, Joel.
Me and my
It's,
dad
uh,
went
it
to
was a
see it
big
on
one.
Christmas Day.
it
Yeah.
was a big one. It's done very well in the box office.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hype, like all year for it.
Yeah.
People were excited.
Yeah, Joel was excited.
I was. I think this was. I don't
this
know
your
where it
number
was. No, Maxine might have been my number one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was probably
both
my
of
top
you.
three though.
Yeah, it definitely was, I think.
Yeah. Just I didn't realize that the story was going to be basically Bram Stoker's Dracula. I thought it was like a different story. So I have seen this story done before in the Gary Oldman, Bram Stoker's Dracula movie.
Yeah.
But I thought it was slightly different. But I knew with Robert Eggers like directing it, having seen The Witch, like as far as how it looks, it was going to look really good. So I was excited. There was no trailers or anything when we did our anticipated. I just knew that because he was involved, and he is hit or miss with a lot of people. And he's only done 4 movies, but as far as like this movie in particular, I think that they got the best director to do this. So
I think
because
this
of
one
that,
is a hit for
oh yeah,
most people.
Yeah.
Compared to his other 3,
mm-hmm.
this one's probably
Yeah.
the most widely enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. I would say so. A lot of people like The Northman. I haven't watched that one yet, but it's not a
me
horror
either.
movie. So
Yeah.
but
So we don't talk about that here.
no, we don't. No, yeah. But as far as like horror goes, yeah, this is definitely. And The Witch was also widely received as well. But
that's what I'm just saying.
yeah.
All right. So,
some point.
Of course, we're gonna stay away from spoilers.
Yes.
And we will talk spoilers at the end, and you can only get that on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/scaretalk and sign up there, and you can get the spoiler talk for all of our episodes. And you can get 7 days free. So also make sure if you're watching on YouTube to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps get our stuff out there so more people can see it and they can enjoy it just like you do. All right. Now, I really liked this movie. I was a little worried that I wasn't going
Are you surprised, Joel?
Well, he doesn't like castles. So
the castle.
Oh, yeah.
I did say I want the vampires to be away from the castles. Like I like the more like realistic stuff. I can, like Salem's Lot, Lost Boys, movies like that. Vampires where they're just like regular old people. Not these like gothic tales of vampires. But
and that's your word, gothic.
Yeah.
So it definitely was that.
Oh yeah. That's why I was worried. I was like, okay, this isn't my style. But it looked like it was actually going to be scary. And to me, most of the time when it's these gothic style versions of Dracula or vampires, they bore me more than scare me.
That's what I was worried about with this movie. I was definitely worried about being bored and just not caring.
Yeah.
I was not bored.
Yeah. Me either.
I did have a hard time staying up at the very beginning. Well, probably like when he was traveling to the Count.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like tough to stay up. But to be fair, I've had very little sleep for the last 3 weeks. So I think I am having a hard time staying awake for anything. And the whole rest of the movie, like I was up.
Yeah.
And I was invested, not bored, very into the story.
Yeah.
So, and I am not a Dracula fan, and I am now.
Yeah.
Like this was good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize, and maybe I just haven't seen enough Dracula stuff, but I didn't realize this was the story of Dracula.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know this story was the story
I didn't
honestly
didn't either until I was watching it. I was like, okay, this is almost beat for beat what the 1993 Dracula movie was. There were some things that were different, but overall, and it didn't end the same way. I don't remember how that movie ended, but it didn't end the way that this one ended. But yeah,
this one ended powerfully.
It did. And so before before this movie, that was probably my favorite story of Dracula. But this one has definitely overtaken that by quite a bit.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I just didn't know the story of Dracula at all because I didn't know that this is what the story is for Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they do give a little bit more background into how Dracula became Dracula in the 93 version. They don't really go into his backstory in this movie at all. Which is a little disappointing, but it's not really necessary to tell the story.
Yeah, this was already a 2-hour movie, so
yeah.
We got some of the Demeter.
Yeah, we did. I was actually oh man, that's the last voyage of the Demeter up there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Your guys'
it was actually cool to have seen that and like be able to reference. Oh,
yeah,
they're on the last voyage.
They're on that last ship that all you people are about to die here.
Yeah, I know exactly what's gonna happen right
now. What did you guys think of the acting?
Oh, I am such a fan of what is his name?
Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård.
Not Bill Skarsgård, but his voice was awesome.
William Dafoe.
Yes.
Oh, Willem Dafoe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's also in this.
That's him? No, that's not who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
The Nicholas Hoult?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you do like him.
I really do. He was in another movie.
Juror 2.
You know a lot.
Juror 2.
Renfield also.
Yes.
The Menu. We've covered him several times.
And I was afraid because I really loved Juror 2 and we just watched that and he looks so much like I'm like, yeah, that's him. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to separate it. Oh my gosh, he did such a good job. It did not like mix, I just totally bought him for who he was in this movie. And I really like him.
The other guy that's in this, not Willem Dafoe, but the husband of the one with the 2 daughters.
Yes.
Was his name was Aaron Taylor Johnson, and he's a pretty big name too. He was Kick-Ass. So
he was who?
Kick-Ass back in the day, like the movie Kick-Ass.
That's him.
Yeah.
Wow. He was
just in another Marvel movie, Kraven the Hunter, this year too. But so he's also a big actor. He's a big actor.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Right, but he
Pennywise.
Bill Skarsgård is Pennywise?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy because in the movies, the voice was oh my gosh, this guy.
So cool.
Yeah.
He did such an amazing job in that. Yeah.
And that is what is so creepy about Pennywise too.
Yeah.
So he's good at voices.
Yeah. His look was I was not expecting that look.
Yeah, I don't even like looking at his little headshot here. And now I totally see Pennywise in it. I'm I don't even want to see him right now.
He's got kind of a oddly shaped head, like his.
You don't hear.
Look at his eyes. Ew. Oh no, I tapped on him. I'm putting my finger over him.
I was not expecting him to look like that. I was expecting more of that, because I've seen Nosferatu, the pictures and stuff of the classic old silent film. I was expecting more of that look.
Sharp,
yeah. But they went for more of a, I guess, realistic look.
Yeah,
because he has a mustache and.
Yeah, I thought the mustache was a little weird, but
that's what kind of threw me off. It was So they're kind of trying to make him look. I mean, obviously he didn't look natural, but they're trying to add some humanity to him, I guess.
I thought. I mean, I don't know. I thought it made it where, exactly where where when he had his coat on and everything,
Yeah.
like he
His fur
looked,
coat.
yeah, he looked like he could like blend in as just
Yeah.
a weird looking old man.
Yeah.
And he was like this German guy,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the mustache was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
liked his
it
look.
fit for a German man,
Mhm.
at that time. So and they tried to make him look more like a person.
Like a person. I
Mhm.
liked his look better than like the old pictures.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it was just unexpected.
Yeah. We don't really know what to expect in this because they
Yeah.
never showed him in the trailer
Yeah,
yeah,
at
show him
all.
at all.
So it's like,
which I love that.
Yeah.
Our
Huge
main
stuff for the
actress,
movie. She did amazing. I thought
yeah,
Yes.
she did a really good job, and I've never seen her in anything before. I mean, just because you're the daughter of a famous actor doesn't mean you're gonna,
Yeah.
be a good actor yourself. It doesn't necessarily carry over, but she's, I don't know, she has potential to be even better than Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If the Academy actually like nominated for horror, I could see her getting a nomination for Best Actress.
Yeah.
Oh, she did so good.
Yeah, no, she was
Should.
really good.
Because she had to play such different roles, like
Mhm.
she had to be able to do a lot in that
Yeah.
role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the physical, it's very physically demanding. The
Yeah.
stuff she was going through,
And emotionally,
yeah,
like
Mhm.
you bought it the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard that she went through contortion training, like with
Oh, really?
contortionists,
Oh,
be able
wow.
to do this. Bill Skarsgård did like voice training with like opera singers and stuff
Yeah, that's
to
why I
be
had
able
heard
to
that.
Oh, that's cool.
Do that
do
voice.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a big project, and
Mhm.
I think it definitely paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cool to know. I didn't know since you until you said it, Joel. It's cool to know that this is like the story of Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Because they don't say Dracula at all in this movie.
No.
And they only say Nosferatu.
They said it
like
one time.
Dracula.
No,
I swear.
I don't think so.
They don't. They
Orlok.
didn't say
They just call him
Nosferatu a lot.
Orlok.
Yeah. They
Okay.
call him,
I want to see the written script and show you there's one time that they use the name. The
probably
word
get it
Dracula.
on. You can probably Google it right now.
Orlok and Nosferatu.
Mhm.
William Dafoe mentions that. I loved his
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I always like him, but
Mhm.
his character was just what was needed
Mhm.
for the movie, for things to kind of shift as
Yeah.
far as the other characters, to kind of take things seriously.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah, because the ending wouldn't have happened the way that it did if it
Yeah.
wasn't for him. So
yeah, and you almost kind of like I liked him throughout the entire movie, but then I was like, I don't know if I like what he had to do.
Mhm.
And I don't know that I like the ending, but it is like a romantic tragedy ending, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what you can call this. Horror romantic tragedy.
Yeah.
Like a
Like
Shakespeare.
I could see this.
play.
Yeah, I could see this being on Broadway or something,
Yeah.
The only negative I have is that last shot. It made our theater laugh quite a bit. I don't know. I
The
didn't.
last, like,
The last shot of Orlok and her.
oh,
Yeah, I don't know why they were laughing.
Theater
Like,
was
I mean,
laughing?
yeah. And
It's
it's like
'cause of the way he
young
looked.
kids, I think. I think like they were teenagers
Oh my
and
gosh.
just like immature.
Yeah.
To me, it was like Joel used the words beautiful and what were your other words? Romantic.
Romantic.
It's weird to say those words for this.
In a
but
horror movie,
But
yeah.
I feel like that last shot, like the purpose of it
Yeah.
was to tie that all together.
Mhm.
And I think it was a
tragedy.
beautiful shot.
Yeah.
But
I don't
the
know. I didn't like
teenagers
the way he
were.
looked.
Well,
thought
you're
it
not supposed to like the way.
Well,
he
no,
looked.
what I mean is it didn't look. I don't know. I felt like it was too much.
It reminded me of like one of those like paintings you would get. I don't want to say too much because it just reminded me of a painting you would see.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good way to end it. I was annoyed by the silly teenagers like laughing.
Yeah.
But it was like we have characters in our theater.
I'm surprised they made it
Joel
this
doesn't
long.
even have people
Like,
in his theater.
there were several people. There were older people, so people that weren't, laughing at certain points.
Were they people that saw
this
the
was
original?
not a funny movie for at one. What?
Were they people that saw the original?
Yeah, they were.
That's how old they were.
Original. That's how. Yeah, they're over 100 years old.
They saw the original in theater.
But people like my age to like 60 or so, like that's pretty much what the like who was at that theater at that time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised teenagers would have made it that far into the movie because it wasn't boring for us, but I could see this movie being boring for like a younger audience.
Yeah, and I honestly like assumed that they were teenagers because of what they were laughing at.
Yeah,
like
in their
it's like
or something,
really.
But yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you had to be a teenager to be laughing at that.
They're probably like 11.
Yeah, they were middle schoolers. They were either teenagers or middle schoolers, or they were young adults that were high.
Okay. I mean, you can get alcohol at the theater.
You can. Yeah.
Maybe they were drinking a little bit.
The lady at the front room was definitely wasted.
Oh,
yeah. We have quite the movie going experience. The dogs in theaters and oh my
gosh. Do you guys have any negatives for this?
I think the only thing that is hard for me, and it's not a negative for the movie, it's just always a challenge for me, is when there's too many dark scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
this had a lot,
literally,
like
dark, where it's hard to see.
Yeah.
And that's just like my vision. Like maybe I should suck it up and get glasses. And two, my alertness, awakeness. Though it's always hard for me when it's too much darkness. I think that would be, I mean,
well, with this movie, it's weird because it's like, there's a lot of darkness, but it's not hard to see in this movie.
I feel like there were certain parts that
lit dark.
Yeah. Well, it was like a black and white type.
Yeah,
movie
it kind of had like
felt
a
like
black
a
and
black
white
and white
feel.
Yeah.
For a lot of it.
But
but it wasn't.
I feel like there were parts that it was a struggle to see.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part it wasn't.
Yeah.
I think mostly at the Count's place.
At the castle. Yeah,
that castle.
Freaking castles, man. The castle stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I liked when he wasn't in the castle as much.
Yeah.
You didn't like, so it literally was the castle for you, because I thought some of the coolest stuff happened at that castle. Like some of the, like, you don't know what you're walking into in this castle of Dracula, basically.
Yeah.
And it made everything just like unpredictable and like creepy. Yes.
Yeah, I would say that this movie was definitely one of the scarier movies of the year.
Mm.
There was one part
Just
where you like literally jumped.
Yeah, I jumped at one part. Some of the imagery, the booming voice that he had,
Yeah.
the way he looked, some of the, there was some like blood and
the mic drop that he did.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about that.
The mic
Had a
drop.
good mic drop.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they took it there. We'll talk about that in the spoilers.
Yeah. All right. Should we look at the critics? And
Wait,
give
Joel
our
didn't
rating?
get to say his negative.
Oh yeah. Do you have any negatives, Joel?
My negative is a nitpick. And I was thinking about this in the theater. I was when it was happening. I don't like to critique child actors in movies.
Oh yeah.
But the little girl in this movie had some of like the most overacting I've seen in like a movie that's like this, like a not where there shouldn't be as much overacting. And it's kind of like Robert Eggers was like, okay, you're gonna have a couple of scenes in this movie, just like give it all you got, kind of be seen by everybody. And she definitely was. She definitely got my attention because some of the acting was a little overboard.
Yeah, it kind of made me like giggle a little bit with some of her lines,
her dialogue.
So yeah.
But I don't
they throw in her accent too, and it makes it
a
little more funny.
You guys,
but I don't. Yeah, but that's really the only thing negative that I have to say about this movie, and that's just a nitpick. Like it's not even.
It is a nitpick.
Ruining the movie for me at all. But I just it was just something that I wanted to bring up because it was something that I was noticing every time she was talking in that theater.
Every time she talked.
Every time. The whole like 3 lines that she has.
All right. Let's see what the critics thought and the audience, and then we will give our scores. And then we're gonna get into spoilers.
Yes.
So get ready. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. So Rotten Tomatoes has this one at the tomato meter has it at an 86, and the popcorn meter has it at a 75. Now you had thought that Nosferatu did better than his other movies. You would be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Witch is at a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and The Lighthouse is at a 90%.
Well, what about the popcorn, though?
So the popcorn meter, though, is lower.
Yeah, because
60% for The Witch and 72% for The Lighthouse, which is pretty close to Nosferatu.
Yeah. Because those are both like critic movies.
Yeah.
I love The Witch, but I haven't seen The Lighthouse, but I've heard that it's not great. Like it's good as far as how it looks and how it's directed and stuff, but I think a lot of people didn't like it. But critics, those are the type of movies that critics love.
Okay.
Artistic.
So because the IMDb, we got 7.8 for Nosferatu, 7 for The Witch, and 7.4 for Lighthouse.
Okay. This also has been out from the time of recording this for 1 week exactly. So those movies have been out for a few years. So we'll see how
this stands up.
Yeah.
But it's got some pretty good ratings. So now we gotta say what ours are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I hadn't even thought of my rating. But honestly, like I don't have much negative. I went into this expecting to I was dreading it. I've been dreading it since Joel had it on his most anticipated of the year.
For a year? Wow.
I've been dreading it since seeing The Last Voyage and being like, they're making another one. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I would buy this movie and watch it again. I was very impressed. I am going to give this a 96.
Whoa.
Wow.
Because I mean, going into it expecting the worst and like really having a bad attitude about it. And it just impressed me, like super impressed me. I was so invested and enjoyed it the entire time.
Yeah.
So he was looking over like
grown-ups movie.
Yeah. And you're like looking over to see if I'm asleep. And I'm like, no, I am ready for this. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go 93.
Okay. Because of that castle and that end scene.
Yeah.
It's just not a fun movie. And it's not necessarily something. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a fun movie for me to like it a lot, but it's not something I would watch too much. I would watch it again, but there's a lot of other movies that I would rate higher because I would watch them more often.
So. I mean, you can still rate them the same. It's just, there is a rewatchability with some for sure, more than others, but as far as like how a movie looks and how a movie's acted and
in those respects, this is 100. And, when it comes to all that stuff, like this is one of the best looking, best direct, like all of those things taken into account, and I'm only rating it on that 100%. This is one of the best ones that we've reviewed as far as a filmmaking perspective.
Yeah. But Danny loves to rewatch movies.
Yeah.
He loves to be able to throw the same movie on all the time.
Yeah, I've watched Carry On. I've only watched it twice, but I will watch it like 2 more times.
Yeah.
Like this week.
One time per every family member.
If Katrina wants to watch it.
Beg everyone to watch it.
I will watch it.
Okay, Joel, what do you give Nosferatu?
So I was gonna give it a 95, but I can't.
I rated it highest.
I know. That's why I was like, I can't be like.
She's all crazy with her ratings, though. You can't
stop it.
I really didn't
it's
think
like
you
if
guys...
you impress me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as with anything. If I'm negative about something and then you impress me, shoot.
I honestly didn't think you guys were gonna like this movie. Honestly, because I know Danny's not big on like the gothic vampire stuff. Like you like the more fun, entertaining vampire movies.
Yeah.
And Katrina, like I didn't think you like vampires at all. So
I don't.
No,
I love Renfield.
I
love Renfield and I love Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I usually like the fun stuff too. I hated Last Voyage, but you know what? This movie made me want to see it again. This movie was like, you know what? Now I want to give Last Voyage a chance again because this was so good. I don't know, something about it. The acting was amazing.
Yeah.
And the story, like you said, I loved that you used the word beautiful and romantic because I did think about using romantic.
Oh, okay. I just kind of stole that word from you.
You totally stole
it. Saying all the words at one time.
By saying every single word.
So yeah, I'll stick with 95 because that was the number that I had in my mind when I was deciding on how to rate this. It's a near perfect movie, like you're saying, Danny. There isn't a lot of rewatchability here for me. I will rewatch it every day if I'm watching it with someone who hasn't seen it before. But as far as rewatchability for me, for like just watching it on my own, I don't know. I watch it a few times, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know in like what kind of time frame in those times are going to be in. So, yeah, 90, 95 for sure.
All right. I think this is
I
one of the highest that we've rated this year. For, 2024.
I've rated a good amount. Pretty high.
I think the
all three of us high in 90s, like the mid 90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
One of the highest, maybe not the highest, but it's up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go see it in the theater again before it's gone.
That's the thing. You wouldn't think a movie like this would be like a theater experience. At least I wouldn't think. Because it seems like kind of like a slower movie, kind of, dialogue heavy, and it seems like that kind of movie. But the sound and, especially his voice, the way it looks.
And the look,
Yeah, like it's a very theatrical movie. So you gotta see it on the big screen with the good sound and everything.
Yeah.
Love it.
And the sound wasn't ridiculous, though.
No.
That's the thing. Oh, it was so good.
Okay. So now we're going to get into spoilers. And if you want to join us, sign up on Patreon. Patreon.com/ScareTalk. Go sign up now.
Do it.
Right
this second.
All right. That is it.